The story begins with an unexpected moment in international diplomacy, a surprising turn of phrase from President Donald Trump, whose words often made headlines around the world. In a move that caught many off guard, Trump broke from his usual rhetoric and offered rare public praise for Pakistan. This was no small gesture, considering the long and often turbulent history between the United States and Pakistan, marked by both cooperation and deep mistrust. For decades, the relationship between these two nations has been defined by shifting alliances, security concerns, and moments of tension. So, when President Trump extended a hand of friendship, it signaled a potential shift in the diplomatic winds, a moment that diplomats and analysts around the world took notice of. This unexpected praise set the stage for an unprecedented event, a high-stakes White House lunch, not for a visiting president or prime minister, but for Pakistan's top military leader, Field Marshal Asim Munir. The invitation itself was historic, underscoring the unique role that Pakistan's military plays in the country's politics and its foreign relations. The timing of this meeting was anything but coincidental. With tensions simmering across the Middle East and South Asia, and Pakistan's strategic location bordering Iran, Afghanistan, China, and India, American policymakers saw new opportunities and new risks. Pakistan's importance on the global chessboard was growing, and Washington was paying close attention. Trump's warm words and the invitation to Munir were widely interpreted as a calculated move, hinting at deeper, behind-the-scenes strategic discussions. It was a signal to both allies and rivals that the U.S. was willing to engage with Pakistan at the highest levels, and perhaps reset the tone of their partnership. For Field Marshal Munir, who had only recently been promoted to the highest military rank, the visit was more than just a diplomatic courtesy. It was a powerful demonstration of his growing influence, both at home and abroad, and a clear reminder of the central role Pakistan's army plays in shaping the nation's foreign policy. The meeting was the culmination of Munir's determined diplomatic push to reassert Pakistan's relevance with a key global power. It was a chance to showcase Pakistan's willingness to cooperate on security, intelligence, and regional stability, while also seeking assurances and support from Washington. Trump's praise wasn't just flattery, it was a deliberate opening move in a complex geopolitical game, where every gesture and every word is carefully weighed for its impact on the global stage. By lauding Pakistan, Trump created a favorable atmosphere for sensitive talks on security cooperation, counter-terrorism efforts, and the ever-shifting balance of power in South Asia. These discussions would have far-reaching consequences not just for the two countries, but for the entire region. As the world's media watched closely, experts and observers tried to decipher the true meaning behind the president's words and the general's visit to the heart of American power. Was this the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. Pakistan relations, or simply another move in a long and complicated game? Only time would tell. The White House is known for diplomatic tradition, but Trump's lunch for Field Marshal Munir broke all the rules. Such honors are usually reserved for heads of state, not military chiefs, underscoring the unique U.S.-Pakistan relationship and the real power in Islamabad. This move reflected Trump's pragmatic, unconventional approach to get things done with Pakistan, engaged directly with its military. The meeting was held behind closed doors, fueling speculation about its true agenda, whether Iran, Afghanistan, or India was the focus. No official readout followed, leaving analysts to guess at the stakes. The message was clear: the U.S. values its direct line to Pakistan's military, recognizing where decisions are truly made. This summit highlighted Trump's preference for personal diplomacy with key power brokers, even if it meant sidestepping tradition. Central to the Trump-Munir meeting is Trump's bold claim that he personally prevented a catastrophic war between India and Pakistan. Trump has repeatedly said his intervention, direct calls to both leaders, pulled the nuclear-armed neighbors back from the brink. He casts himself as the indispensable peacemaker, lamenting that the media hasn't credited him for saving millions of lives. This story is a cornerstone of his argument that his presidency made the world safer, and he often links it to his broader strategy for global peace. The claim provided crucial context for the lunch with Munir, framing it as a follow-up between a grateful nation and its supposed savior. It justified the unusual honor for Pakistan's army chief and set the stage for further talks on regional stability. Trump's narrative reinforced his image as an active, decisive player in South Asian geopolitics. During his high-profile visit to the White House, Field Marshal Munir made a striking and unexpected gesture. He publicly recommended President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. The moment was carefully orchestrated, with cameras flashing and both leaders aware of the global attention their meeting would attract. Munir specifically cited Trump's pivotal role in averting a potential nuclear war between India and Pakistan, a crisis that had the world on edge. This move was not just a compliment, it was a calculated effort to flatter Trump and align with his self-image as a global peacemaker, someone capable of diffusing even the most dangerous international tensions. The recommendation quickly became a major talking point, echoing far beyond the Oval Office and dominating international headlines. News outlets around the world debated the merits and motivations behind Munir's endorsement, while social media buzzed with speculation and opinion. For Trump, the general's praise served as powerful external validation for his claims of being a deal-maker and peacemaker. It provided a significant boost to his political narrative, reinforcing his image among supporters and giving him fresh material for speeches and rallies. Critics, however, were quick to question the sincerity of the gesture. Many suggested it was a diplomatic ploy, a strategic move by Pakistan's military leadership to curry favor and secure continued U.S. support in a region fraught with tension and uncertainty. Others pointed out the irony of a military general from a country with a complex and sometimes controversial record on peace and security nominating anyone for a peace prize. The gesture raised eyebrows and sparked debate about the true meaning of such awards. Ultimately, the episode highlighted the transactional nature of modern diplomacy, where public praise and symbolic gestures can be as influential as formal agreements or treaties. In today's world, perception often shapes reality. In the end, the Nobel nod became another tool in the ongoing game of international influence, a reminder that in global politics every gesture, no matter how grand or symbolic, serves a deeper strategic purpose. While Trump and Pakistani officials touted American intervention, India offered a starkly different account. The Indian government has consistently denied that the U.S. or Trump played any role in de-escalating tensions with Pakistan. According to India, the crisis was resolved through direct military-to-military talks, not outside mediation. Prime Minister Modi and other leaders have publicly refuted any U.S. involvement, reinforcing India's policy of handling regional disputes internally. This creates a diplomatic puzzle. Two powerful nations, two opposite versions of the same event. India's position underscores its commitment to strategic autonomy and its resistance to external interference. By pushing back against Trump's claims, New Delhi defends its sovereign right to manage its own affairs. The truth, as always in global politics, likely lies somewhere between the competing narratives. Field Marshal Munir's White House visit was classic military diplomacy, a strategy Pakistan has perfected. In Pakistan, the military dominates politics, economics, and foreign policy, often overshadowing civilian governments. By sending its top general to Washington, Pakistan played to its strength, using its most influential asset to engage a crucial ally. The U.S. often finds the most effective route to Islamabad is through the military, not the civilian government. Munir's outreach solidified the Army's central role and ensured Pakistan's voice was heard at the highest levels. This approach, while effective, raises questions about civilian control and democratic governance in Pakistan. For the U.S., engaging directly with the military chief is a delicate balancing act, recognizing power realities while upholding democratic principles. The Trump-Munir meeting unfolded against a backdrop of escalating U.S.-Iran tensions and shifting regional alliances. As Washington and Tehran exchanged threats, the entire region braced for potential conflict, and every diplomatic gesture took on new significance. The stakes were high, and the world watched closely as leaders weighed their options. Pakistan's strategic location, bordering Iran, made it a key player in any American plans for the region. Its long, rugged border with Iran placed it at the crossroads of potential military operations, intelligence gathering, and diplomatic maneuvering. For the U.S., Pakistan was not just a neighbor to Iran, but a potential gateway for influence and action. The White House lunch likely explored Pakistan's willingness to cooperate on intelligence, logistics, or access in a potential Iran scenario. American officials would have probed how far Pakistan was willing to go. Would it allow overflight rights, share border intelligence, or provide logistical support? These were sensitive questions with far-reaching consequences for regional stability. For Pakistan, this was both a risk and an opportunity. Cooperation could bring much-needed aid and diplomatic favor from Washington, but it also risked alienating a powerful neighbor in Iran. The leadership in Islamabad had to weigh the benefits of U.S. support against the dangers of regional backlash and domestic criticism. Meanwhile, China's growing influence loomed large, with Pakistan a cornerstone of Beijing's regional ambitions. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor was transforming infrastructure and deepening economic ties, making Pakistan increasingly reliant on Chinese investment and support. This new dynamic complicated Islamabad's choices even further. The U.S. sought to keep Pakistan from drifting entirely into China's orbit, even as it deepened ties with India. Washington's balancing act meant maintaining old partnerships while forging new ones, hoping to prevent a complete realignment of regional loyalties. Every move was watched by all sides, as the U.S. tried to balance old alliances with new realities. Intelligence agencies, diplomats, and analysts scrutinized each meeting, searching for clues about shifting allegiances and emerging strategies. The lunch with Munir signaled that, despite closer ties with India, the U.S. still valued its security relationship with Pakistan's military. It was a reminder that, in the complex web of regional politics, old partnerships could not be easily discarded. The meeting was a single move in a much larger game of geopolitical chess. Each decision, each handshake, and each alliance was part of a grand strategy, as global powers maneuvered for advantage in a region where every action could tip the balance. Beyond geopolitics, the Munir meeting was central to Trump's public image as a global peacemaker. He has built his persona on claims of stopping wars and brokering historic deals, from North Korea to the Middle East. The Nobel Peace Prize recommendation fit perfectly into this narrative. Critics, however, question the substance behind the claims, especially given India's flat denial of his involvement. Many argue Trump's focus is more on appearances and accolades than on lasting peace. Still, perception is powerful in politics, and being seen as a peacemaker is a valuable asset. The Munir meeting was as much about public relations as policy. It projected an image of strength and achievement regardless of the conflicting accounts. When the White House doors closed on the Trump-Munir lunch, the world was left with more questions than answers. The true purpose of the meeting, whether Iran, Afghanistan, or India was the focus, remains a mystery. The Nobel Peace Prize recommendation, genuine gratitude, or calculated diplomacy? The starkly different U.S. and Indian accounts leave the historical record contested. The lunch stands as a symbol of modern geopolitics where personal relationships and military diplomacy often override protocol. The full story of what was discussed and what it means for the future remains unwritten.